This is KSUT Public Radio. Regional news is next. A jury in Colorado has awarded a $21 million verdict to a woman who was paralyzed after falling from a ski lift. As Tony Gorman reports for the Mountain West News Bureau, the incident happened at Crested Butte Mountain Resort 3 years ago.
Annie Miller fell 30 feet from a 4-seat high-speed chairlift at the resort in March 2022. The fall left her paralyzed with severe injuries. Her father brought an initial lawsuit against the resort claiming negligence, but it was dismissed in April 2023 due to the family signing a liability waiver. The Colorado Supreme Court later ruled that liability waivers don't protect ski resorts if they violate state laws and regulations. However, Vail Resorts is expected to pay only $12.4 million in damages to Miller's family because it was found to be 75% at fault and the cap on non-economic damages. I'm Tony Gorman, CPR News.
A bipartisan group of U.S. senators in our region have signed on to a bill that would triple the budget of a program to clean up water sources in national forests. As James Dawson reports for the Mountain West News Bureau, supporters include 2 Idaho Republicans.
Senators Mike Crapo and Jim Risch want to expand grants that go to farmers, utilities, and cities to rehabilitate these polluted waters. If passed, it would prioritize projects involving wildfire restoration, drinking water, and climate change resiliency. Under the Headwaters Protection Act, annual grants for the Water Source Protection Program would increase from $10 million to $30 million. In a statement, Crapo and Risch said these projects are best organized at the local level and that they can ensure clean drinking and irrigation water for decades to come if done properly. The bill would also establish $30 million in annual funding for the Forest Service to evaluate watersheds and ensure current management practices don't degrade healthy water sources in the future. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
A new approach to addressing water scarcity is underway, one that turns farmland into projects that benefit both people and the environment. As Caleb Radel reports, researchers say parched Mountain West states could learn from it.
California's land repurposing program helps farmers shift irrigated land into new uses, like wildlife habitat, groundwater recharge areas, or even solar farms. The idea is to save water while strengthening rural communities. This offers a more sustainable path than simply leaving fields unplanted, says Gopal Penny, a researcher with the Environmental Defense Fund.
When farmland is pulled out of production, if it's left barren and idle, that can contribute to dust storms. It can contribute to a proliferation of weeds and pests.
He says the Mountain West, where drought is straining rivers and aquifers, could adapt California's model by involving farmers, tribes, and local residents in decisions, and by turning land into projects that give back in more than one way. He says states that do that are likely to be better prepared for future water shortages. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Caleb Radel.
Colorado and Wyoming will get federal funds to help reduce the risk of wildfires in the Medicine Bow-Routt National Forest. For the Mountain West News Bureau, here's Caitlin Kim with the story.
About $2.6 million is going to Colorado and Wyoming for the Headwaters of the Colorado Initiative. It's a partnership to reduce wildfire risk, improve stream health and wildlife habitat, and will affect lands in Moffett and Routt counties. Congressman Joe Neguse welcomed the news, saying the investment will support collaborative, science-based efforts to improve watersheds and strengthen forest resilience. The money is coming from the Joint Chiefs Landscape Restoration Partnership, which Neguse and Colorado Senator Michael Bennet want to see reauthorized. They're part of a bicameral and bipartisan group hoping to do that this Congress. In Washington, D.C., I'm Caitlin Kim, CPR News.
You are listening to Regional News on KSUT Public Radio. Utah is the latest state where lawmakers are being accused of gerrymandering. A coalition of citizen-led groups sued the Republican-led state legislature, arguing lawmakers altered a ballot measure that created an independent redistricting commission. Lawmakers cut the commission's role to an advisory one and approved their own maps in 2021. Last month, though, a judge sided with the citizen groups, ordering the legislature to redraw Utah's congressional districts by this September 24th. In her ruling, Judge Diana Gibson said the current maps cannot be used, quote, in any future elections, unquote. Laura Ai of Mormon Women for Ethical Government called the ruling a major victory for voters.
This is a huge win for Utahns and really shows what can happen when a cross-partisan group of voters come together around an important issue, around ethical governance, and we're seeing the fruits of that.
State lawmakers had asked the judge to stay the ruling to give them more time to redraw the maps, but last week Judge Gibson denied their request. We'll conclude this regional news segment with a report from the Colorado Capital News Alliance. Historic farm equipment gets new life each year at the Old Threshers Days Festival in the town of Yuma. Betta Birkeland was there and brought back this postcard from last weekend.
I don't know if you know this, but that goat's going to go into labor. It's like overdue, so they're hoping that it will have babies while everyone's here. How cool would that be?
It's going to be a mama. Beautiful baby. I feel her tummy. Yeah. But this is my favorite that one over there.
I'm Jamie Ho, and I'm here with my kids and my mom, who grew up in Yuma, and we're just down visiting and appreciating Old Threshers. I have memories of coming here as a kid doing this, so it's great to bring my children, and I love how they're keeping the past alive.
My name is Duncan Clark. I started shoeing horses in around 1970. Now I won't shoe a horse at all.
Why not?
Because I'm old, and I'm not as tough as I used to be. I think the kids like to see hot metal come out of the forge and sparks fly when you hit it. They have no particular interest in what I'm making.
We're going to try to run our thrash machine. Everybody's clear? Go for it.
All clear. We pitch bundles of wheat into it, and it separates the straw and the chaff and spits the clean grain into a wagon. Farmers would have got together and they would have threshed wheat together.
Yeah, you can come on up and look at it if you like. I'm Daryl Smith. I'm kind of the MC for the Old Threshers group in Yuma, Colorado. I'd like to see it last, but I'm afraid it's going to be gone before long. The people that do it are all retirement age, basically, very few young ones. The people just don't appreciate it, I don't think, anymore. They spend their time on a video game, on a computer. They don't want to come out and see what it was like 130 years ago.
That audio postcard from Yuma's Old Threshers Days was produced by Betta Birkeland for the Colorado Capital News Alliance. And content produced by the Colorado Capital News Alliance is funded in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Support for local and regional news on KSUT Public Radio also comes from the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority.
Support for public policy reporting comes from the Gay and Lesbian Fund for Colorado, promoting programs designed to ensure all Coloradans have the same opportunity to thrive. More information is online at gayandlesbianfund.org.
Support for local and regional news on KSUT also comes from Soco Wood and Windows, locally owned and operated in Durango. For beautiful finished products and a flawless building experience, Soco provides a one-stop shop for projects from windows, doors, and cabinets to millwork. Details are at SocoWoodandWindows.com. They're also on Facebook and Instagram. And support also comes from Nature's Oasis. They've got a large selection of organic and natural products, along with a knowledgeable staff to answer questions on health and natural lifestyles. Nature's Oasis, family-owned, and supporting our communities since 1993 at 300 South Camino del Rio in Durango. They're online at naturesoasismarket.com.